This is AI News Today, and here's what happened in the world of AI in the past 24 hours. Actually, let me paint you a picture that shows just how mainstream robots have become. 5 Boston Dynamics spot. Robot dogs just strutted onto the stage at America's Got Talent and absolutely crushed it with a synchronized dance performance to Queen's Don't Stop Me Now. And I'm not kidding when I say they crushed it. They got 4 yes votes from the judges, and they're moving on to the next round. When robot dogs are competing on primetime TV and winning over audiences, we've crossed a major cultural threshold. But that's just the entertainment side of things. The real robotics news this week shows we're on the verge of some major breakthroughs that could change how we live and work. Let's start with Tesla, because Elon Musk has finally put a date on the calendar for their much-anticipated Robo Taxi launch. They're tentatively targeting June 22nd for the rollout, though Musk is being careful to say it depends on final safety checks. The company plans to start small with just 10 to 20 Model Y vehicles operating in Austin, Texas, before expanding to cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco. What's got people excited is a viral video that's been circulating of a Tesla robotaxi already test driving on Austin streets. It's one thing to see demos at corporate events, but seeing these vehicles actually navigating real city traffic, that's when it starts feeling real. Shifting gears to humanoid robots, there's some fascinating progress happening with a Norwegian company called 1X. They've just unveiled something called Redwood, which is essentially a new AI brain for their humanoid robot called Neo. What makes this particularly interesting is that Redwood was trained on thousands of real-world sessions, not just computer simulations. This means Neo can now adapt to sudden changes in real time. Think of it like the difference between learning to drive from a textbook versus actually getting behind the wheel. The company has already started in-home trials, and they're talking about scaling production into the millions. You can actually watch videos of Neo doing household chores, and the movement is becoming remarkably human-like. Meta is also making moves in the robotics space, though they're approaching it from a different angle. They've released something called V Jeepa 2, which is essentially an AI system that helps robots think before they act. Unlike the language models we're used to hearing about, this one builds internal simulations of reality. So, instead of just responding to what's happening right now, delivery robots and self-driving cars can actually predict what's going to happen next and plan accordingly. It's like giving robots the ability to mentally rehearse their actions before taking them. Now, let me tell you about some of the more unusual ways robots are being put to work around the world. In Shanghai, China, they're using 432 small walking robots to literally pick up and move an entire building complex. I'm not talking about demolishing and rebuilding. They're physically lifting and relocating these massive structures to make room for construction underneath. Once the project is done, they'll move the buildings back to their original spots. It sounds like something out of science fiction, but there's video footage of this actually happening. Over in the UK, the National Health Service has announced plans to dramatically expand robot-assisted surgery. They want to go from 70,000 procedures per year to 500,000 by 2035, making robotic surgery the default for 90% of keyhole operations. The benefits are compelling. Patients recover faster, hospital stays are shorter, and they can perform more surgeries overall, which helps reduce those notorious waiting lists. Here's one that caught my attention for its environmental impact. Scientists are using drones to drop millions of mosquitoes across Hawaii. But before you think they've lost their minds, these are specially bred male mosquitoes that are reproductively incompatible with the local population. The goal is to reduce mosquito numbers that are threatening native bird species with deadly diseases. Using drones makes this conservation effort much safer than the helicopter drops they used to rely on. And speaking of ambitious projects, Toyota is about to unveil something called Woven City, the world's first robot city built from the ground up. This 175-acre smart city sits at the base of Mount Fuji and serves as both a testing ground for autonomous vehicles and AI-powered living systems, and an actual functioning city where people live and work. It's like having a real-world laboratory for next-generation technology. In the funding world, there's been some significant movement. NVIDIA and Samsung are reportedly backing a robotics startup called Skilled AI with $35 million, while Sam Altman-backed Coco Robotics just raised $80 million to scale their last-mile delivery robots. There's also been some drama. Tesla is suing one of their former engineers, claiming they stole trade secrets from the Optimus robot project to build their own startup focused on robotic hands. It's a reminder that as this industry heats up, the competition for talent and intellectual property is getting fierce. Let me wrap up with what might be the most practical robot story of the week. A San Francisco company called X Robotics has created something called the X Pizza Cube, a countertop robot that can make over 25,000 pizzas a month. It uses AI to apply sauce, cheese, and toppings, and the company says it saves about 80% of staff time. They just raised $2.5 million, and they're planning to expand into Mexico and Canada. From robot dogs on TV stages to pizza-making machines in restaurants, from building moving robots in China to mosquito-dropping drones in Hawaii, it's clear that 2025 is shaping up to be the year robots truly integrate into everyday life. The technology is moving from impressive demos to practical applications that actually solve real problems. That's it for today. Make sure to like, subscribe, or follow, and see you tomorrow for more AI news.